Today we are going to see Ionic page structure and some Angular components that can be used inside your Ionic project. So first of all, what I'll do is I'll try to open the project which you have created, that is the blank application. So here I'll go to my blank application. So whenever you want to write the code for your Ionic application, you have to choose the source folder. You have to choose the source folder here and click on open. So now this is a source folder where I need to write my code. Okay. So here inside the app folder, by default a page is there, that is the home page. So inside this one, so for each and every page, basically you will have the HTML, a CSS file and the TS file. So in the HTML page, you will be writing your HTML code, and in the CSS file, you will be writing your CSS code, and then in the TS file, you will be writing some logic. It's a TypeScript file where you will be writing your logic. So when it comes to the page structure here, so you can see something like so we have ion header, ion toolbar, and ion title to display inside your header. Okay, this is how you display some home. Like basically in the home page, you're displaying the header. So in the same way, you can display some footer also inside the page. So instead of header, you can use footer here. And so when you want to display some data inside the page, or when you want to display some tags inside the page and all, you can use ion content. So this is a page structure. So basically, you will be having some header, some content, and the footer. So in the next tutorials, we will be seeing something like how to add the side menu and how to add the tabs and all. But for now, the page structure is you have a header, you'll be having some content, and you'll be having some footer and all here. Okay. So now, so this is a page structure, and in the TS file. So previously in the TypeScript tutorial, we have learned how to create the variables and all. Okay. So now I'll try to create some variables here, something like private, some number one, num colon some number equals to 1. So here inside a TS file, I'm using some access modifiers to create my variable. That is, I'm creating a variable and I'm storing some numerical value into the variable. In the same way, I can create some string variable, something like this. The same way, I can create some boolean also. So I can create some boolean variable also. Here, something like this. Okay, so basically, so these are nothing but these are the built-in types. With the help of the built-in types, I'm creating some number, string, and boolean variables here. The same way you can use the user-defined types also, like arrays and objects. I can create some array here like this: private, some just string array, colon any of array, or you can mention the type as a string array, so that I can store all the string elements inside the array here. Something like I can add here some Angular. I can store some strings here, Ionic, and some TypeScript. Okay, I can display something like this, an array. So if I want to declare some object, I can declare some object also here. Private, some obj equals to some name, dev apps. Okay, so like this I can create some object. So these are the user-defined types, and these are the basically these are the predefined types, and these are the user-defined types. Okay, so now what? So already there is a class here. Inside the class, we are creating the variables here. Okay. So now what you have to do is we have to use this variable. In each and every variable, we have some data. So this data has to be, we have to use that data which is there in the variables in the HTML page. So whatever the data which is there in the variables, now I want to use that data in the HTML page for the display purpose. So previously you are displaying in the console in the TypeScript, but here I want to display the data which is there inside the variable. So when I want to display the data which is there inside the variables, so in that case we have to use Angular JS. So whenever you want to display the data which is there inside your HTML page and all, so in the TS file, we are declaring some variables. So from the variables, you want to display the data in the HTML page. So in that case, you have to use AngularJS. So basically, AngularJS is a popular JavaScript framework for developing client-side, mobile and desktop web applications. Okay. So here, when you want to display the data and all, what happens is like here we have something called as Angular directives. There is something called as Angular directives. So inside these Angular directives, first of all, so directive means basically which you use to manipulate the DOM. Okay, so document object model. So basically directives are used to manipulate the DOM. You can change the appearance, you can change the behavior, or you can change the layout of the DOM element. So means something like you have some in the HTML, if you take, you have some paragraph tag. In that paragraph tag, you can change the color of the text dynamically. You can display some data inside the paragraph tag. You can do all those things and all. Okay. So these directives are classified into three things. So first one is component, and the second one is structural directive, and third one is attribute directives. The first one is component. This component derives with a template. Whatever the component is there, this component derives with a template. Now you can see here in the homepage.ts file, we have the component from the AngularJS. So with the help of this component only, we are loading our HTML page and the CSS inside our class. Okay, and this selector is nothing but with the help of this selector, your whatever the HTML code is there, this code will be added to your Ion app. The Ion app which is there inside the index.html page. Inside the Ion app, this code will be this homepage.html code will be added inside the Ion app with the help of the selector. Okay, so this is the component which you are importing from the Angular core, and then with the help of the component, you are appending your code to the index.html page, and then you are loading your HTML page here with the help of template URL, and you are loading the CSS, that is CSS code, with the help of the style URLs. Okay, so that is the use of the component. And the next thing is we have structural directives. Okay, so here we have structural directives. So these structural directives are nothing but change the DOM layout by adding and removing the DOM elements. Okay, these structural directives can change the DOM layout by adding or removing the DOM elements. So if you take some example here, basically the structural directives are like ng if and ng for and all. So I'll show you the implementation next. Okay, and next we have attribute directives. So in these attribute directives, basically you can apply some class dynamically. Basically it is used for changing the appearance or behavior of an element, component or directive. Okay, suppose you can apply some color dynamically to an element, or you can declare two classes inside the CSS file. The class can be applied dynamically to an element also here. Okay, so we are going to see these directives next. I'll give some examples about this one next and all. So for now, what we'll do is, so here we have declared some variables, and now what I want to do is I want to use these variables in the HTML page. So whenever I want to use these variables inside the HTML page, the thing is you have to use something called as data binding. You have to use a concept in the AngularJS that is called as data binding. So in this data binding, basically it is used to define the communication between a component and the DOM. Okay, and it is a technique to link your data to your view. So view is nothing but your HTML page. It's a technique to link your data which is there inside the variables to your view and all. Okay, so this data binding, basically data binding can be either one way data binding or two-way data binding. So either you can the binding of data can be done in two ways. So one is first one way and the second one is two-way data binding. So first of all, we'll see one-way data binding. So one-way data binding means basically simple one-way communication where HTML template is changed when we make some changes in the TypeScript code. Okay, so the meaning is, so here whatever changes when you make in the TypeScript code, the changes will be reflected in the HTML page. That's it. But if you make some changes in the HTML page, it cannot reflect in the TS file or TypeScript code and all. That is about the one-way binding. One-way binding means you are making something in the TL TypeScript code that will change the HTML. That's it. Okay. So next one is two-way binding. In the two-way binding, basically we have automatic synchronization of data happens between the model and the view. Okay, the two-way binding, automatically synchronization of data that happens between model and the view. So here, whatever the data is there inside your TypeScript code, you can create some variable. That variable data can be changed from the TypeScript code or from the HTML code also. So that is called as two-way binding. Okay, so basically Angular provides 4 types of data binding. Okay, the first one is string interpolation, second one is property binding, and third one is event binding, and the fourth one is two-way binding. Okay, so first one we'll see string interpolation. So what is string interpolation here? So now here string interpolation is nothing but it's a one-way data binding technique which is used to output the data from a TypeScript code. One-way binding technique which is used to output the data from the TypeScript code to HTML template. So whenever you want to do the string interpolation, so here we have the variables like some number, string and boolean. Okay, so these are the variables we have. So the string interpolation can be done with the help of something that is called as, so here I can create some tag. So whenever you want to use string interpolation, you can use something called as expressions. You can use something called as expressions here, and whatever the variable which you have created here, the variable name can be given directly in the HTML page here. So here we are using string interpolation. So simply what we are doing is here we have declared some variables inside the TypeScript file. I am using the same variables inside the expressions to display the data which is there inside the variable. Okay, so here I am using expression to display the data which is there inside the variable. The same thing can be done with the string and boolean also. So here also you can write, you can create one more paragraph tag here. I can use expressions and I can use the string variable also here. So I can use some string variable here. In the same way I can use the boolean also. So here there is some boolean here and I can use the boolean also here. So basically here this is nothing but your string interpolation. So basically you are declaring some variables inside your TS file, and whatever the data which is there in the variables, you are displaying the data in the HTML page with the help of expressions. Okay, with the help of expressions. So this is basically the one-way binding technique. It's a one-way binding technique and all. Okay, so now we'll see how it will display the data from the variables. So just I'll go into my project folder. So this is my project folder here, and I want to run the code in the browser. So I'll use Ionic SIR. So before that I'll create a new window here. So I'll use Ionic SIR so that it can run my code in the browser. So string interpolation basically it's a one-way binding technique. You are declaring some data in the variables. Just to display in the HTML page, you are using something called as expressions from the Angular JS. With the help of expressions, you are displaying the data. So that is what we are doing here. Okay. So now you can see, so it is displaying some data inside the HTML page here. So in the home page, so whatever the variables are there here, inside the variables you have some data. So this data is displayed inside the HTML page with the help of expressions. The help of expressions is displayed. Okay, so that is about the string interpolation. And the second one is property binding. The second one is property binding. So what is property binding? So here I can display some image. So I'll display some image. That is, I will display a static image. So you can store your images inside the assets icons folder here. Already we have a default icon here, that is favorites icon. So I'll try to display this icon here. So assets icon, and then I'll use the icon name here. So just I'll try to display the same image here. So inside the assets folder, I have the icons folder. Inside the icons folder, I have the favorite icon. So here the same icon I'm trying to display inside my HTML page here. Okay, so now see here. So as I'm running my code by using Ionic Serve, whatever the changes which I make in the code, the changes will be automatically reflected in the browser. So now the image is displaying here. Okay, now the image is displaying here. So now here, so how we can use the property binding? So this property binding means basically we bind a property of a DOM element to a field. We bind a property of DOM element to a field, which is a defined property in our component. Okay, so here already we have the component, right? So inside the component, we will be defining some variable. With the help of that variable, we will be displaying the data. That what are the data which is there inside the variable that will be used as a property for the image tag. That will be used as a property for the image tag. So simply what I can do is, so here I can declare a variable private. So previously you are declaring the variables with some data and then you are displaying the data inside the HTML page. But now what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to use here basically this property binding technique I want to use here. So inside the variable, I'll store the image path. So I'll store the image path here. So what is the path is there? I'll try to store this image path here. So now, so whatever the path of the image which is there here, now it is inside a variable. So here what I want to do, I want to use the property binding. So whenever I want to use the property binding here, so we need to make the property as dynamic like this. And here, whatever the variable is there, you can use this variable. You can use the variable name like this. So when I write like this, so now the whatever the image is there, the image is inside the variable, that is image path. Now we are using this variable image path to display a property, that is source. Source is a property. For the source property, I am assigning the variable. So when I assign like this, now see here. So whatever the static image which was displaying previously, now the same image is displayed from the variable. The same image is displayed from the variable here. Okay. So in this way you can use the property binding. And the third one is event binding. The third one is event binding. So event binding is basically used to handle the events raised from the DOM. Something like you have a button. When you click on a button, we can call some method. Okay, when you click on a button, we can call some method. So here I'll try to declare a button from the Ionic framework. So ion button is a tag to display the button. So I'll write some click here for the button name. So this ion button is the property to display the button in the Ionic framework. So we'll discuss in detail in the next tutorials. So for now you can remember ion button is the tag to display the button. Okay, so now this is my button. So what I want to do is, now in order to use the event binding means when I click on the button here, now see, when I click on the button, it has to call a method or it has to do some action. It has to perform some action here. So in order to do that, what I would do is, so here inside the class, I have to create a method. So I'll write show alert. Show alert is a method. Just I want to display some normal alert inside my browser. So I'll write here alert some welcome. This I am displaying some normal alert inside my browser. Okay. So this is my method which I have created inside my class. So now when I click on this button, I want to call the method. So in order to do that here, so simply use the click add event, and so whatever the method which is there here, copy this method and paste it. Okay. So now first of all we have declared a button here, and in the TS file inside the class we have declared a method. In that method we wrote some alert, and what we are trying to do is, when you click on the button, we are trying to call the method. So this is called as event binding. The first one is here, this is string interpolation. So it's better I'll write here string interpolation. And the second one is property binding. String interpolation, and here it is property binding. And the third one is event binding. So the third one is event binding. Okay, so in the first case, we are declaring variables and displaying the data with the help of expressions. And the second one is we are declaring some path inside some variable, and we are using that path for a property here. That's why it is a property binding. And third one is event binding. Event means something like click or something like on touch or something like that. There are some events here. So when I click on the button, we want to call a method. So simply we have declared a method inside the TS file, and we are writing some alert code here. So now you can see when I click on this button, it will call the method, and then whatever the alert which is there inside the method, it is displaying here. Okay, so that is about the event binding. Okay, that is about the event binding. And the last one is here two-way binding. So the next one is two-way binding. So two-way binding means basically in the one-way data binding, any change in the template or view in the HTML page will not be reflected in the component. So what are the changes which are made in the HTML pages? Basically, it is not reflecting anything in the TypeScript code. So, but in the two-way binding has a feature to update from component to view and view to component. So I can change it, I can declare some data inside a variable in the HTML page, and then in the HTML page when I change the data, the same data can be reverse, the same data can be stored into the same variable. Okay, so that is two-way binding. Two-way binding has a feature to update data from component to view and view to component. Okay, so here now we will see how to use the two-way binding. So when you want to use a two-way binding, we have to use an input field where you can enter some data, and that will be stored inside a variable. So here two-way binding, two-way binding here. So whenever we have the two-way binding here, so I'll try to use the input field. If you want to use a normal HTML input field also, you can use it, but I'll try to use the ionic input field here. So whenever you want to display the input field, you can use ion input, okay, directly. So just I'll use some placeholder to display some hint. Enter some text here. Okay, so whenever you want to display an input field, you can use ion input like this, and whatever the hint you want to show in the input field, so you can show some input field here. Okay, like this. Okay, so now you can see, so this is my input field where I can enter some data here, so now what I want to do here, I want to use two-way binding here. With the help of the input field, I want to use two-way binding. So whenever I want to use two-way binding, so here I'll create a variable, one more variable, private some data :string equals to some empty here. I'll use some data otherwise, sample data, something like this. So now here in the TS file, I'm declaring a variable data. In that I'm storing some data, that is basically I'm storing some string sample data here. So now what I want to do is, now I want to bind this one. I want to bind the variable to the input field. I want to bind the variable to the input field. So in that case, what I can use one more Angular property, that is ng model. I can use ng model here, and now whatever the ng model is there, inside the ng model, now we need to pass the variable. So here my variable name is data, so I am passing the same variable here. So when I pass like this, so now inside the variable we have the data, that is sample data string is there, so that will be displayed inside our input field here. Now you can see it is displaying inside our input field. So now whenever I change something here, I'll write something like some new data, I'll write here. When the data is changed here. When I change the data, so automatically in the variable the data will be updated. If you want, you can see that variable also here. You can display the variable here with the help of expression. I can use the expressions, and whatever the variable is there here, just I can use the same variable to see what is the data which is there inside the variable. So now first of all it is displaying sample data, the same thing is displayed inside the expressions here. So now I'll try to change it, something like whenever I try to change it. So now see here, when I change it, automatically the data which is there in the variable is refreshed, and here with the expressions we are displaying the data. So in this way you can use the something like you can use the two-way binding. So in this way you can use the two-way binding and all. Okay. So here, so first one is one-way binding and the second one is two-way binding. In that, how we are using the data binding in AngularJS, with the help of string interpolation, you are displaying the data which is there inside the variable using expressions. And the second one is property binding. With the help of property binding, you are displaying a property dynamically from the variable. And third one is event binding. In the event binding, they are using some event, that is click event. When you click on the button or something, you are calling the method. And the fourth one is two-way binding. Here you are using ng model, so that whatever the data we are giving to the variable, it is displayed inside the input field. If you change the data, it is updating inside our variable. So in this way you can use the binding techniques in the AngularJS. So previously here we have discussed only about the component. Okay, we have discussed only about the component. So now what I want to is, I want to discuss about the structural directives. So what are the structural directives? So structural directives are nothing but change the DOM layout by adding or removing DOM elements. So here, so in order to do that, what I'll do is, here whatever the array and object is there, with the help of this array and object, I can use, with the help of this array and all, with the help of array, I can display some data in our HTML page. So in that case, I have to use structural directives. I have to use a structural directive, that is ng for. So here, whenever I have to use structural directives, so the structural directives are nothing but basically you can use star ng for, or you can use star ng if, or you can use ng switch also. You can use ng switch also here. Okay. So here now what I want to use, I want to use a directive, that is structural directive ng for. So this ng for can be used to display data from an array. This ng for can be used to display data from an array. So here, so we have seen how to display data from a variable with the help of expressions and all. Okay, but now here it's an array. Array is a collection or group of elements. Array is a collection or a group of elements. So now I want to display the data which is there inside the array. So whenever I want to display data which is there inside the array here, so here I'll create a div. You can use a div or p tag, it's your wish. You can use any tag here, and you can use the star ng for. So basically this star ng for is used to loop the tag. So here inside the array I have three elements here. So this p tag will be repeated, or p tag will be repeated 3 times with the help of this ng for. In the array, if you have 10 elements, the p tag will be repeated 10 times to display the data. Okay, so star ng for, I need to create a variable inside this one, let I of. So I'm creating a I variable here, and then I'll give the name of the array. I'll use the name of the array here. So now whatever the I is there, this I is pointing to the each and every element which is there inside the array. So whatever the I variable which is there here, this I variable is pointing to each and every element which is there inside the array. So simply to display the data, I can use expressions and I can pass the I value. So this star ng for will be repeating this p tag until all the elements are displayed in the HTML page. Okay, so now you can see here how it will display the data. So now from the array, it is trying to display the Angular, Ionic and the TypeScript inside our HTML page. So here whatever the p tag is there, this p tag is repeated 3 times. You can see here. Here I can show you here. If we click on inspect here, see So whatever the p tag is there, this p tag is repeated 3 times here. Okay, in the for one p tag you have Angular, Ionic and TypeScript. So in this way you can use ngFor to display the data from an array. So this is one of the structure binding element. Basically this is a structural directive. Sorry. And next one is we have ngIf. So ngIf is nothing but basically it is used to hide the elements, show and hide a element. So here I'll create a variable private show tag colon boolean equals to false. I'm creating a variable the show tag of type boolean and I have stored some data that is false. I have initialized with the boolean variable with the false here. So now I'll use the show tag. So now I can write some p tag here, some hello world something. So inside this p tag I'll try to use star ng if. So when I am giving some ng if, inside the ng if you can write the conditions. It is same like your if statement. It is same like your if statement, but only thing is here if the condition is true, it will display the data. If the condition is false, it will hide the tag. Okay, if the condition is true, it will display the tag. If the condition is false, it will hide the tag and all. So now you can see here. So I have initialized this variable to false. So if it is false, basically it will hide the data. It will hide the tag. So now here it is not displaying hello world here. It is not displaying hello world because the condition is false. So now I'll change the condition to true here. So when I change the condition to true, so now see here, it will try to display that is the tag, whatever tag is there, now the tag is visible. So based upon the condition, you can show and hide a tag with the help of the ng if, and okay. So that is about your structural directives. That is about your structural directive. And the last one is attribute directives. Okay, the last one is attribute directive. Okay, so now here I can show you some attribute directives here. So I can use some attribute directives here. So attribute directive means basically these attribute directives change the appearance or behavior of an element, component or another directive. So attribute directives change the appearance or behavior of an element, component or another directive. So here, so simply I can create some p tag here. So for this p tag, I'll try to apply the text color dynamically. So I'll write Ionic framework. So here inside the variable, I'll try to store a color here. So private text color of type string equals to some blue color. So inside the variable, I am storing some color here. So inside the variable, I am storing some color. So now whatever the color is there, I'll try to apply this color dynamically to the p tag with the help of attribute directives. So whenever you want to apply the color dynamically, you can use ng style or you can simply use a style attribute, and then so whatever the variable is there, you can pass the variable. But here if you write like this, the p tag cannot understand what is the property. Suppose if you are applying some text color, so it has to understand like it has to change the color of the text. That's why what you have to do is from the CSS you can use the attribute style dot color equals to text color. So now when I write style dot color means the p tag will basically it will understand like, so now inside this variable we have the color blue and that blue color is applying to the p tag with the help of style dot color. So now see here, so whatever the Ionic framework is there, it is displaying in the blue color and the color value is from the variable, and the color value is from the variable. Okay, so in that way you can use the style dot color. Okay, in that way you can use the attribute directives under. Okay, so in the attribute directives, you have something called as ng class. So the ng class means basically you can apply some CSS class dynamically to the tags and all. That also we can see next. So that is about the page structure and Angular directives and data binding. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you.